Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the all-new 2026 Mazda CX5. This is the S Premium Plus. It's finished off in polymetal gray metallic with an MSRP at just over $41,000. So for this smaller size SUV from Mazda, we don't have too many exterior changes. The biggest changes will be some of the tech for the interior. And we'll start off with what this is powered by, which is a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder. This is paired to a 6-speed automatic, and it pumps out 187 horsepower, 186 pound-feet of torque. It's all-wheel drive. It will do 0 to 60 in around 8 seconds, and as far as MPG goes, you're looking at 24 in the city, 30 out on the highway, and its ground clearance is just over 8 inches. Now, as we work our way to the exterior, the Mazda logo is the sensor for distance pacing. There's a forward camera, lots of cutouts, some great trim accents for the grille. There's also parking sensors, active grille shutters in that lower section, and then more gloss black. There's also a dark housing for all the LEDs with a gloss black trim accent underneath and some smooth lines coming down the hood. Now, as you can tell, even more gloss black accents for the side. It's even on the wheels too, which is a really nice combo. It's on the power folding side mirrors where there's a camera and a turn signal, and then the window trim and roof racks, and there's a full moonroof up top. There's also some more smooth lines flowing down the side. Gives it more of a simple look, but very nice design at the same time. This has a two-tone design for the spoiler. There's a third brake light, wiper blade, a dark housing for the lights. Mazda is spelled out right in the middle, and then you have the backup camera, parking sensors, and the dual exhaust. Now, there's a few different ways that you can open up this liftgate, including the hands-free option. So you can kick your foot up underneath, use the key fob, or that control I just pushed on. Now, for this smaller SUV, it's actually going to be very practical if you're not looking for a big vehicle. You do have some space under the floor with that spare, some storage on both sides, and you can also fold down the back seats from here. You can easily remove this cover too if you need more of that height there. And so super practical if you don't need a big vehicle. Now, this does not have proximity door handles in back, so you would have to grab the front or use the key fob. This also has a two-tone design for the interior. You have some storage down below, the grab handle, some more trim accents, and then a very large opening here. And then more of the beige interior. At 5'10", I also have a lot of space. You get storage pockets, vents, heated seats, auxiliaries down below, and I have almost 4 inches of headroom. So it is very roomy and spacious. You have a lot of versatility for the back area. And then those smaller cargo windows are going to help with some visibility around that pillar there. Now, this also has the power side mirrors. There's the window controls, even more storage down below, those for the audio, and then the automatic front seats. Now, as we hop in, we're greeted with a leather trim steering wheel. There's paddle shifters on both sides, and then the cruise control settings, the steering assist. There's also a few different driving modes that you can get into. And then you have a shortcut to the camera system, so you can easily pull that up. Now, this is a manual steering wheel, so that controls down below. And then there's volume, you have some tuning adjustments, voice commands and Bluetooth, and then you can also pull up a few angles within this screen. So just depending on the info that you would like to see, and you can also quickly get into your audio adjustments as needed. Now, there's also the liftgate release. You have some safety tech that you can mute. There's one air vent, the head-up display, and then this is completely new for Mazda with this massive infotainment system. Now, the lower section, you'll notice right in the middle, these are basically your home controls. So you can get into the split view, you can quickly get into the map and navigation, your music, and then Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and the rest of these icons depending on what you'd like to see. Now, also within the screen, there's fan speed, there's temperature, and then you have another shortcut to pull up the camera. You have your passenger adjustments, volume, and then various settings to get into. So you can go through all of these and set it up as needed. Now, also within the screen, this is how you can gain access to your heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, where you'd like the air to go, and a few other settings. Underneath that, there's vents, along with defrosters and hazards. You get storage with cup holders. With it in reverse, you have the camera system, of course, with a few different angles, and you can also pull up those angles in drive as well. You can push on automatic too, so at slower speeds that will pop up for parking situations. You can shift here or with the paddle shifters. There's auto hold and the e-brake. You get wireless charging, some auxiliaries in the armrest, There's also plenty of storage, and then garage door buttons, dome lights, adjustments for both the sunroof and sunshade, and a sunglass holder as well. And then a look at visibility. It's a small vehicle, but it's super easy to see all around. And we're in sport mode from second gear. Here we go. Pedal to the floor. And as we get up to speed, I do wish it had a little bit more power to it, but there are some Mazda options that do offer turbo engines. So if you are looking for a little bit more power, there are certainly other Mazda SUVs that you can choose from. For this CX5 here, I think it has an adequate amount of power, at least to get up to highway speeds, to merge. For this type of vehicle, it's definitely sufficient. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the latest CX5. Lots of nice tech features for this. Very nice materials too. There's some plastic that you would expect to see in a vehicle of this price point, but everything else looks very nice. The layout is super easy to go through, and it's just a comfortable vehicle to drive. So if you're looking for a smaller vehicle, one that's great for road tripping, you can fit in quite a lot of items, as I did using this the past couple of days. I was even able to fit a full-size bike in the back with the seats down. So you can go on some adventures like that. You can equip this, I believe, with a hitch. It can tow around 2,000 pounds from what I've seen. So realistically, you could put a bike rack on and even put some more items on the back. So great adventure type of vehicle too, especially with the amount of ground clearance that it has and the all-wheel drive system, even going into the off-road mode. So you can take this hiking, camping, do adventures like that, and still have a very practical, smaller vehicle. It also handles well too. It's not a big vehicle, so that is to be expected to go on some back roads and go on some of those adventures. And it's a nice vehicle overall. Mainly this is the biggest change for the model, but I think it's a great update. So if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads, and I will see you all in the next video.